Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at JASMY. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, we're going to go over the two ideas that we're following here. So for our bullish idea here, what we are looking for is a bigger breakout to the upside, where we are looking at this move as either an A, a B, and then we're looking for this as a C wave. Now, we were discussing the possibility here that we've already come down towards this 0.618 of this W wave. If we look at this structure as W, X, Y, X, and Z, so we could be potentially looking for a move to the upside. Now, if we do not see this break back above some of these key highs here, 0050 is going to be one of them. Until we actually see a break above these levels, we need to be careful of the more bearish situation where we could be looking for a break to the downside. If we do start to rally here, I'm going to be looking for this 0092 as a first target here at this 1-to-1. Alternatively, if we do look for an impulse, even though the probability is a lot less likely here, because we came down to this 0854, the target for this would be here at this 0184. And then what we'd be looking for is an additional fourth and a fifth wave to the upside. Now, the alternate way of looking at this move is that we could still be within a bigger corrective pattern here, where we could still be looking for another leg to the downside in a Z wave. And what we'd be looking for internally here is that this move could be X, and then we are looking for the potential that this becomes an A, B, and a C pattern to the downside. Now, our 1-to-1 level here is sitting at this 0022, so this would align with actually coming back down and breaking this low, which would invalidate that bullish count. If we do see a move like this, like I said, I'm going to be looking out for this 1-to-1 zone here. Alternatively, if we do look to push down in a more impulsive way, there is potential that we could be looking to see this move extend out. So we need to just be very careful. There is also the potential here that we could argue that this move is actually breaking down in a 5-wave structure from this high, where this becomes 1, 2, and then we're looking for a bigger breakdown. Now, within that idea of the bigger breakdown, here's a 5-wave pattern. What we'd be saying is that this is potentially 1, 2, and then we are looking for this white third wave. Now, we haven't come down to the 1.618 yet, and the way that we are moving down is just looking like 3-wave structure. So because of that fact, it is possible here that we could be just forming this as a diagonal pattern. We need to keep an eye out for this idea, but really, until we actually start breaking back above some of these highs, we can't rule out the idea that there could be some extension going on here. So we're going to go over the bullish count first, and then we're going to talk about these more bearish ideas. Now, within the bullish count here, what we'd be saying is, like I said, that potentially this is a B wave low or a wave 2 low. Now, we're going to come in here and get onto the lower time frames. Effectively, what we're looking for here, if the low is in place here, we do not want to see a cross here of this 0030 region. And what we want to see is that the white count is then effectively playing out, where we look at this as a wave 1 up into this high. This is W, this is X, and then potentially still looking for this Y wave to the downside. It is possible that this move could have formed the first part of this leg, where we see a small bounce to the upside and then that continuation to the downside here. The 1-to-1 target is actually sitting here towards the 0033. This would also align very nicely with moving back into this golden pocket area here, which would also align with a retest of these lows. If we do overshoot this area, the next target I will be looking for would be towards this 0032, which would be our 786 retracement. If these areas hold, we have potential here for a rally to the upside. Invalidation, like I said, is at this 0030. Now, if we are looking at this idea of this being a wave 1 and then looking for this wave 2, based off of our current low that we've got over here, which is the 0034. Now, the reason I've done this is just for the higher target, for a bit more confidence that if we hit this zone, it definitely is an impulse. But if we do move down, the target will also move down from this point. So if we move down to that 0.618, this would move down to 0052. We're going to have to keep an eye on this level to see how we react. If we do start to form this as potentially 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we start to see price rallying to the upside, it is possible that we could already be looking for this third wave to play out, but we need to be careful that this doesn't just become A, B, and then C to the upside, where we see the 0045 level get hit. Now, currently, it is just looking corrective up. We just have a 3-wave move to the upside, and we just have a 3-wave move to the downside. So it's possible that this X wave could also be incomplete, where this is just A, B, and we see one more push to the upside before this push to the downside. Going to be keeping an eye on that as well. But if we do start to rally from this point, you know, we'd have to see a much higher move here towards this level of this 0041 before we could start talking about some impulsive structure here. At the moment, I do think it's more likely that we're going to see a little bit more downside here if this is the bullish case playing out before seeing this third wave to the upside here, looking for this zone of the 0053. Now, within this idea here, what we then want to see if this is going to extend is the blue count to take place. We'd be looking at this whole move as one, looking for a 3-wave move back down into this 50% to the 786 level, and then seeing support come into this area and then rallying. Once again, the invalidation of this is going to be the same at the 0030. We don't want to see price losing this level if we are going to be looking at this, looking to rally in this way. And effectively what this would then be looking for is this to either be A, B, and C, or alternatively, if we do see the higher target get hit here, where we hit this 0184, we could be looking at this potentially as a wave 3. Now that would be the bullish way we're looking at it. Alternatively, we need to just be careful that we could still be looking to break to the downside here. Like we said earlier, now if we're looking to break down and this is A, B, and C, it is also possible, you know, this could be looking for a diagonal still for as long as we remain below this wave 2 high. I would prefer to see this break down from here. If we do see something like this where we get A, B, and C, it is possible then that we could look at this corrective move actually completing at this point. So this would be the alternate way of looking at this corrective structure where this is A, B, C, and then we'd still look for that rally to the upside. So that would be saying that potentially we are still incomplete with this wave 4. We need to see 3 waves to the downside and then see that push up. Once again, the same idea is going to be in place here. You know, if we take this low over here, the probability then becomes that, you know, we're going to start to see that continuation down, and it invalidates the idea of this being 1-2 and then looking for that bigger rally to the upside. So going to be looking out for, you know, this alternative to that corrective move. If we fail to break back above 786, we could still just see price look to start to fall in another 3-wave move here. I would be expecting a break of this wave 3 low, but would not be wanting this to break this 0027. So that would be the only way we can protect this low. If, however, we are looking at this as a bigger corrective move in the middle here, and what we are saying is that this move is effectively looking at this B wave over here. So if I just turn this low degree count, you know, we talked about this in the beginning where this could be A, we could be looking for this B wave still. If this B wave is incomplete, there is still potential that we could see price come back up and revisit this 0065 to this 0050. And the way I'd be looking at this potentially would be as a flat correction where this becomes a B and then we see this push up in a C wave once again. What we'd want to see here, if this is taking place, is starting to see 5-wave structure developing to the upside, where we push up towards this zone of this 0061 to this 0052. So because of the fact that we have these two ideas here, where we're looking for this possibility of a 5-wave move up here, the key thing between these two different ideas is going to be what happens next. If we do get a 5-wave structure up into this zone, if we get 3 waves to the downside, hold support, and then start to rally again in another 5-wave move, then potentially what we could have is that this becomes 1-2, 1-2, and then we start to form this as a bigger 3rd wave to the upside. Alternatively, if we just get 5 waves up like this, and then we start to break down in a bigger 5-wave move, this would align more with that higher degree count here, where, like I said, we could still be within this B wave, looking for this C wave to the downside, which currently is giving us a target of this 0022. So that's what we need to be careful of here. Even if we do start to see a bit of a rally to the upside here, until we actually get a sustained break above this 0065 and ideally take this high here of this 0080, need to be very careful of this idea that we could see a push up here and then still see that continuation to the downside. Now, within the more bearish idea here, where we were saying that this could be potentially 1-2, what we need to be very careful of here is that if we do get this develop as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as a diagonal, this could then still become 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we look to break down. So these highs are going to become very important within this instance. If we get a break above these, then this invalidates this bearish potential here. And what we need to be careful of is if we're looking at this extending and rather saying that this is 1-2 and this 3rd wave is setting up with a couple of 1-2s within it. Now the problem is this secondary count here where this is 1 2 1 2. This wave 2 here, I don't really like the size of it, but I'm still tracking it because we haven't crossed this 0051. If we do move back above this, this would invalidate the count here and would mean that this is just potentially a corrective move, or we're looking at this as a flat correction here. It'll depend how exactly we invalidate it, but ideally within this move where this is 1 2 1 2, what we'd then be saying is that this next leg needs to start to break down in a more impulsive way. And what we'd be saying is that this is once again another 1 2 1 2 here, and effectively I'd be looking at this as another 1 2, looking for this to try and start pushing down towards this 0022 level. If we do see price failing to break back above the 786 here at this 0039, we do have the potential that this could evolve into something else to the downside. But what we need to see here, if we're going to be looking for that 5-wave structure to the downside, would be a move down past this 0030. So that would be basically coming back down into this low. And then what we'd be looking for would be this being 1 2 3 4 and 5 down into this point here. If we do get a 5-wave move down like this and we don't actually see price continue to sell off here, we need to be open to the idea that this could become A, B, and C. Once again, still the same idea with the flat, but we would have just pushed down a little bit lower with that. Until we actually see price break back above the 0039 though, if we do form a smaller 5-wave move like this, we need to be very careful that once again this doesn't become a 1 2, and then we could start to see this third wave starting to get some legs to the downside if it is starting to break down in that more impulsive way. Coming in here and having a look at the daily CPL lines, what we can see is that we've actually had an interaction here with the central lines. These are printed lower than the previous day, so this was an initial bearish sign. We have moved back up into these, hit this R1 line and rejected to the downside. If we can't hold this zone of this 0355 to this 03576, what we could then see is price could actually be gravitated to the downside here. 03495, 03437, 03362, and this 0304 could be potential downside targets for today if we lose these central lines. If, however, we start to see price moving back up above these central lines, I'm going to be on the lookout for the potential to come back and sweep yesterday's high, which would be 3640. If we take that zone, next target to the upside would be 3696. 3753 and this level here of this 3828. Now if we switch this over and have a look at the weekly pivot points here, what we can see is that our weekly pivot points have actually printed higher. If we do continue to push down, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this 03485 as a potential support zone. If we do hold this, we could potentially see a move back up into this 3641 to this 3675. If we fail to push down and we just move up here, this could also be potential resistance before continuation to the downside. If we do see a move down, like I said, we could look to test this S1 line. Other targets for this week would be 3276 and this 3106. If we do look at the potential of upside here, if we do manage to reclaim these central lines, what we could then see is price could be gravitated towards 3864, 4033, and this level up here of this 4242 as a potential target. Now moving over here and having a look at the monthly pivots, obviously we do not have much left in the month. We can see that these are extremely tight here. So the fact that these are so tight is indicating volatility. Now if we are below these, this opens up the potential that we could see price move down towards this 2981. Other targets for this month would be 2341 and this level here of this 1716. If we do see price looking to move back above these central lines, what we could then see is that potential of a move towards this 4252, 4883, and this higher level here of this 5520. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on these zones. If we do move back up here, this 3617 could be resistance based off of this central line. So need to be on the lookout for that possibility that if we do see price, start to reject in a bigger way, we do have that possibility of moving down towards some of these lower levels here. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. Everyone have a great day. We will see you in the next one. Take care.